So the Raiders have it first down. Very different Raider football team that we're looking at today than we looked at in the second half of the game against Washington a week ago. In the slot now is Branch inside of Morris Bradshaw. Running backs remain the same. This is Van Eeken at the left side. A little bit of room once more. Gets to about the 38-yard line. Maybe a gain of about 5 yards on the play. Carl Hairston, right end defensively for Philadelphia, makes the stop.
Eagles are a good defensive football team. They finished third last year in the NFC overall defense in the most important category. That is fewest points given up. And they're an underrated ball club. Only Pittsburgh and San Diego in the entire National Football League had a better record last year than these Philadelphia Eagles.
You look at both coaches, Dick Vermeil on one side, Tom Flores in the shadows on the other side. Gain of 4 yards for Van Eeken on first down. Bradshaw starts in motion. King tries the right side. A little bit of room. Gets a step. 45 midfield. 45 to the 40 to about the 35-yard line. Kenny King gets outside. Credit Henry Killer Lawrence with a block that really sprung him that time. Carl Hairston finally runs him down.
This is one worth taking a look at least twice. Good job by Dave Dalby turning on his man. Upshaw out in front. Takes Berge. Good block kicking out by Henry Lawrence, and then just a good job of running. King gives that man the fake to the inside and goes down the sideline.
Well, that is a whole new dimension to this Raider football team as we watch it once more. Good blocking up front. Upshaw and Lawrence turn it into a big gainer that time. So Jim Breach does come on, and we'll have to do just exactly what you were talking about, Al. Kick the ball out of a very, very tough place. It snapped off the grass, kicked off the dirt. He'll hit it at the 30-yard line. It'll be a 40-yard attempt out of the hold of Bob Chandler.
I think he went back a yard farther to get it off the edge of the grass, so he'd have a flat place to have the ball spotted.
Ball is snapped, it's placed, it's kicked, and Breach has plenty on it, and it's good. So Jim Breach kicks a pretty tough field goal that time of 40 yards. That equals Tony Franklin's 40-yard attempt, and we have a flat-footed tie in this ball game as Jim Breach is congratulated by his teammates, Jim Upshaw, the captain of this Raider football team. We've got a tie ball game here in Oakland with 4 minutes and 36 seconds still remaining to be played here in the first quarter, and I think, Al, you really have to credit the Raider defense so far. It's really doing a very fine job. On the other side of the line of scrimmage, the offensive line has really done a fine job early on here. Incidentally, the Raiders right now are going with cornerbacks Lester Hayes and Dwight Harrison, playing for Monty Jackson. Jackson does not appear to be hurt. He is standing on the sidelines. So Hayes and Jackson are the Raider cornerbacks. And again, I hearken back to Dick Vermeil talking to his offense before, saying that these cornerbacks he feels can be beat. We'll see. Raiders in the nickel defense now. In the slot this time is Carmichael. Jaworski will throw under some pressure again over the middle, and batted around, intercepted by Henry. And he tries to lateral the ball, and I believe the Eagles have this. No, Burgess Owens comes away with it for the Raiders. That's one of those laterals that you will not see in the regular season, though.
Let's hope not. Jaworski going back, and there's a push. But he had time to find a man, did not see the linebacker. Good job by Barnes cutting across. Hendricks plays a deflection. He tries to lateral that one to Burgess, who does a good job of digging it out. When I was with the Chargers, we had a rule on laterals. If you lateral and the man you lateral to got a touchdown, fine. Otherwise, it was a $100 fine for throwing the football around like that. And our Matt Millen reminds me a great deal of Berge. Size-wise, they look alike to some degree. They think alike. They're intense football players, and I feel that Bill Berge worked out to be a choice you were proud of, and I feel we're going to have the same kind of history out of Matt Millen.
Second down, isn't it?
Dick Vermeil asking what down it is on the sideline. You'll hear Dick Vermeil's voice quite a lot during this broadcast. First and 10 at the 38 for the Raiders now. Play action this time. Pastorini will throw. Has a bit of time. Goes for it all. Deep is Bradshaw in the end zone, and he cannot hang on. Crowd asking for interference that time on Bernard Wilson. There was some tangling up of the legs, but one of those either way kinds of calls, I'd have to say.
Sees a fake here.
So the first quarter comes to an end with the score: the Philadelphia Eagles 3 and the Oakland Raiders 3, and we'll be back with more football action right after this message. Raiders have managed to move the football, albeit not through the air so much, but on the ground. Branch near side. It is Bradshaw far side. Kenny King and Mark Van Eeken still the running backs. This is King right side behind Upshaw. Now he gets outside once more. A good block to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. And stop, let's see. Where do they say at the 4-yard line? He stepped out of bounds. Van Eeken leading the way. Want to see who made that ceiling block to get him outside.
On the sweep, both guards pulling. Good job, Marvin. Beautiful job by Van Egan, turning it back inside. King doing a fine job, making the man miss out on the 4.
So the Raiders come to the line of scrimmage with a 1st and goal. The nose of the football short of the 3-yard line. That is Branch in the slot. Pass to Winnie gives to Van Eeken. Tries the right side. Is close. Is in. Touchdown Raiders. And that was an outstanding drive for the Oakland Raiders. Their best of the year, I'd say.
Yes, it was. It mixed up the run and the pass. But the big thing, again, the offensive line controlled the line of scrimmage. Gave Dan time to throw when he wanted to. Did a good job running up inside and did an excellent job going outside, both the men pulling and the outside guys. One thing that helped on that sweep was a good job by the outside receivers coming back. There's Mark Van Eegen working his way over to the sideline. Now we'll take another look at that play. Straight ahead blocking with a lead block by 33. And just a good job of everyone getting off, putting the helmets down, and looking for the big wide stripe and not settling for anything less.
Credit the offensive line and Mark Van Eeken with that drive. A fine scoring drive for the Raiders. Breach's extra point try is up and good. And the Raiders right now doing it just like they have it when they put the X's and the O's up on the training room chalkboard. Raiders take a 10-3 lead here. We have 12 minutes and 51 seconds remaining to be played here in the first half of this football game. And the score, the Raiders 10 and the Philadelphia Eagles 3. Second down now. Back split behind Jaworski are Jamona and Harrington. Still 2 tight ends in the ball game. Jaworski gives to Jamona, tries the left side, nobody there again. Makes the tackle.
It was a superb job underneath by Dwight Harrison, who beat a block, came up field, put the helmet right in the middle and dumped him.
So the Raiders really knuckling in.
See that one again. They're coming strong side right there. 28 underneath says no way. This is the stage of the field where defensive backs have to be total football players. They're not paid to play pass defense on the goal line. They have to, but they have to stop the run.
Loss of about 1.5 yards. Watch for the rollout now. 2 tight ends in the ball game. Jaworski rolls to the right side. Will throw for the end zone. Well defended. Hayes makes the interception in the end zone. Outstanding effort by Lester Hayes, who just fronted the man and made a very, very tough catch of a Ron Jaworski pass.
Here it is, Jaworski, good call by Tompkins, who expected to roll out. That's what Jaworski did. Hendricks is tall enough to make him loop it up. And then Lester Hayes, who can dunk a basketball, though he's only 5'11", goes up and takes it away from a 6'8" receiver.
Well, the Raider defense, once more, you just can't talk enough about them.
They've done a good job. You can't do a better job than that one. Kept both feet in.
Eagles had it first down at the 1-yard line. The Raiders with a good defense. Lester Hayes comes away with the interception. We have 4:45 remaining to be played in the first half, and the Raiders lead it 10-3. On the sidelines, Jim Plunkett, who will soon be a part of this football game, warms up. Plunkett has not had many opportunities to work with the Raiders' first-string offensive line. And he will likely not get that chance tonight either. Preseason, the quarterback here on 2nd and 10. Straight back to pass. Throws. Has a man. It's Canfield at the 15 to the 10 to about the 7-yard line. Pisarcik to Canfield. Burgess Owens makes the tackle. Gain of 25 yards on the play. And a well-executed play that time by the Eagles. So the third quarter has been predominantly Philadelphia Eagles, but we have to note the Raiders once more are playing a lot of bodies.
Here comes the receiver out of the backfield. Got downfield deep on one of the linebackers. Good play, good throw. It was good design, good execution.
Dick Vermeil on the sidelines. Not real pleased with that play. And we have come to the end of the third quarter. Pisarcik is at quarterback. The running backs, Canfield and Harrington. That is Canfield for the touchdown. Beg your pardon, it was Perry Harrington for the touchdown straight ahead across the left side. No deception, a simple touchdown.
See this one again, they just blew us back. Did a good job getting underneath and cutting on Kinlaw. Bent Matt Millen back, and he just came in there the old-fashioned way, head down, cover the football, and just barrel in.
On to try the point is Tony Franklin now. The Eagles take the lead for the first time tonight, 16-10. And Franklin's try for the 17th point is up and no good. He missed it off to the left. So that gives the Raiders a little bit of bright spot. So it's a 4th down play. The Raiders, without any choice, they have to go for it. There are still 5 deep backs in the ball game for the Eagles. Clock shows 3:21 remaining. 4th down, 5 yards to go for the touchdown. The Raiders trail by 13 at 23-10. Same offensive set for the Raiders this time. Lewis and Christensen again, the running backs. Plunkett will throw. Everybody in the pattern. To the end zone for Ramsey. Good grab. Touchdown Raiders. Good grab that time by Derek Ramsey. Was not a particularly well-thrown ball, and Ramsey really had to go up, and he came down with it.
Defensive back is screaming that Ramsey pushed off on him. But again, when you got the big receiver with size like Ramsey, if there's going to be a collision, the defensive man's going to bounce backwards and lose that tight coverage he has. I think it had already happened. Good. Again, it's nice to have guys that are 6'4", 6'5". Ramsey was a basketball player as well at the University of Kentucky his first 2 seasons. And when you can make the basketball squad of Kentucky, you know you can go up in the air,
you can play
and you've got to have hands.
Too. So Jimmy Breach comes on to try to add the Raiders' 17th point. That was a 94-yard drive for the Raiders with little penalty help. They did have the 1 roughness call. Out of the hole to Chandler, placed, kicked, and good. So the Raiders not out of it yet. 3 minutes and 16 seconds remaining to be played. And they lead it by, or rather trail it by 6 points.
Remember now, with no timeouts left, unlike college ball, the clock does not stop when you get a 1st down. It's hard to throw down the inside. You've got to work to the sideline or work deep.
It is Larry Brunson, 3 wide receivers in the ball game now with Derek Jensen, the lone setback. Martini slotted inside of Brunson. Matthews to the other side. Plunkett will throw. Throws deep this time for Martini, and Martini makes the catch, gets up and runs, and what do we got? The clock is still rolling here. Martini again is slotted inside of Ira Matthews. Whittington and Christensen, the running back. Straight back to passes Plunkett. Everybody in the pattern, a lot of time. Goes for the end zone again. Open is Ramsey. Touchdown Raiders. Derek Ramsey with 4 seconds remaining to be played. They came with the same pattern 3 times.
Actually, the middle pattern was really to a back coming down the middle. This is the first pattern again. The tight end starting outside and then breaking over the middle. A post pattern. Good job up front. Plenty of time. Find a man. There he is. Touchdown Raiders. Holy Toledo, as they said.
Perfect opening. Perfect opening. Plunkett throwing the perfect ball. Had a lot of time to throw that time. In fact, this whole series, Plunkett had a lot of time to throw. Got to credit Rich Martini with a big catch. Credit Derek Ramsey with 2 big catches in this game. Made the good touchdown grab for the last touchdown. 2 touchdowns on the night for Derek Ramsey. Now they need the point, remember. Jimmy Breach is on. There are 4 seconds left to be played. He'll hit it out of the hole to Chandler. Everybody on the front line for the Eagles. 4 seconds remaining. Tie game at 23. Ball is snapped. It's placed. It's kicked. It's good. And the Raiders, barring the unforeseeable, are going to win another throat clutcher here at the Oakland Coliseum. They won the last game they played here at home with exactly 6 seconds to play. They were 2 seconds better tonight.
I'll tell you, there are a lot of people who stayed away from the ball game, and they may have some reason, but they're missing a lot of fun. And when they follow the lead of a couple of people in the press who are trying to, this is still great football as it has been for 20 years, and the Raider football is something special. You ought to share it.
Well, the Raiders did it this time with no timeouts remaining and 64 yards away. Rich Martini made the big catch. Made a great catch.
That was a great catch. Very delicate throw. We'll take another look at the final play. Plunkett's got the time. Looks out to the outside. Finds Ramsey coming over the middle. Drills it straight out in front. We just can reach out, bring it in. Easy score.
There's the numbers on Derek Ramsey. 5 receptions, 2 touchdowns, 70-plus yards. 4 seconds remain in the football game. It is not completely over yet.
Remember, the clock does not start now. We're in the last 2 minutes until the ball is touched by someone, not just when it's kicked.
Now, Jim Breach will likely just try to split the middle with this one and dribble it down.
You want to get enough depth, though, that they don't get a timeout in the field goal attempt.
Breach comes forward, and he lines it down here. It is picked up by a tackle who pitches it back to Henry, and Henry has it at the 30, 35, almost gets outside to the 38-yard line. Time runs out, and the Oakland Raiders have won the football game. A spectacular come-from-behind victory for the Raiders. I think particularly impressive in that they did it with second-line players in large part. Tom Flores walks off the field. He has to be a very satisfied man. Al Locasal, you can't help but wonder if this doesn't set a precedent for the upcoming season. The two home games here have really been something.
They've been great shows, but we're going to open up with the first two on the road. We've got to play Kansas City in Kansas City next Sunday. It'll be hot on that artificial turf. We're going to have to do an awful lot of work this week. But, you know, the improvement is the big thing over between this week and last week. Defensively, offensively, and special teams, this is a better football team than the one we saw a week ago in Washington, and this is the time to get good. We are just right now 7.5 days away from the league opener against a good Kansas City team, and it looks like we're closer than people thought we would.